First of all, I would like to start with a question to everyone. Would you guys pay a bank an annual rate just to store your assets, your fiat? Is there anyone in the jury who would do that?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Hey guys, can you see my screen?
Yes.
And the next question would be...
Perfect. I'll leave it open. In this, I won't do a full screen mode because I'll also go into the actual application. And very nice to meet you guys. First of all, I would like to start with a question.
Sorry, Kiki, can you mute yourself?
Pay a bank an annual rate just to store your assets?
Yeah, Kiki, can you mute? Okay, thanks. Yeah, Chris, please go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, okay, I'll just go into it then. Okay, thanks everyone, and thanks for getting us or deciding for Flux Protocol to be amongst the final participants in the current hackathon and competition. So what is Flux? Flux Protocol is a borderless lending protocol where low transaction fees and cross-chain interoperability are the reality. So as you know, it's a lending and borrowing platform, but with integrated cross-chain mechanism, so you don't have to take your assets out of Flux, go to a cross-chain swap, like any swap, Multichain or Polybridge, and you can just cross-chain your collaterals from network A to network B with one click, and then continue on what you want to do in DeFi on another chain, right? And we started off on Conflux Network because that's where the core members met. And since then, we have deployed Flux Protocol on 7 blockchains. And one of the things that was very important to us from the very beginning was that we do not fork any other protocol out there, for example, Compound or Aave, because we wanted to be able to develop on top of it. We wanted to be able to innovate and integrate new products. And if there are any problems, we wanted to know where they are and how to fix them. So all our contracts are original, are open source, and have been audited by CertiK. As mentioned, we have integrated cross-chain functionality, which I'll show just now. It's actually very straightforward, right? I'll log into it. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see your screen.
Okay, perfect. It might be my internet just being slow. So this is how the new Flux version looks like. This was also part of the achievements that we have done within this competition. Yeah, let me enter my password quickly. Okay, that's not it.
Hey, Chris, I don't think we're able to see your screen. You need to share the different window.
Oh yeah, we see the pitch screen.
Okay. Okay, then I'll just go through the presentation. A next feature that we have is that the collateral rates of the assets you supply into it are independent from the liquidation rate, right? So this way we can guarantee a low liquidation rate at 110%, while having a better security for the different types of assets that we put in. And the reason why we set the liquidation rate at 110% is that in the early times, we only decided to deploy Flux Protocol on high performance networks, right, where people do not have to worry about network congestions, making their assets to get liquidated, like what happened in May this year on Ethereum, and during the Black Swan event in March in 2020, where just so many assets got liquidated and the users could not do anything about it. Let me get into the next one. So the first milestone, the first thing we did was to create the decentralized money markets, which means lending and borrowing of different crypto assets. And we began with the liquidity mining, right, to get additional APR for your lending and borrowings, and also to distribute the governance rights to all our users. Afterwards, we developed our V2. V2 is similar to Alpaca. It's a leverage lending platform where you can obtain assets under collateralized with a 10x leverage and use them to maximize your yields. For example, on Spooky Swap, on Phantom, right, where you just want to have a USDC to USDT pair, earn the rights and some other APRs in addition. In V3, we integrated the cross-chain mechanism so people can just seamlessly, get their assets from network A to network B without having to withdraw their assets from the platform. And in the next version, which we are working on, is a long tail lending protocol. What this essentially means is that we can enable more assets to be borrowed and lended on top of Flux with a low market cap, right? So for now, we have only been choosing like top 50 assets across all different blockchain networks because we know they're safe, but there's a huge market for low cap market assets, which can also grow exponentially. This is a roadmap you can look at, but I think the most important ones are that we're deployed on 7 different networks. It is still the most popular one on the OEC chain. OEC is the OKEX chain, and we're a global community. Just here are some stats that you can look at: 50,000 followers on Twitter and more than 18,000 members on Telegram. And the 2 achievements we did during this competitions where we updated the complete UI and the UX to make it more user-friendly, and also for users to be able to look at detailed protocol metrics, right? Like the health factor, how much is utilized, and what it means for you if you have stored X amount of assets into it. We can look at the old version and the new versions later on, so you can see a difference and that we have been working on it. And prior to this, the Flux V2, the leverage lending, was essentially a separate market, a separate DApp under the same user, under the same name. But in this version, we have integrated Flux V2 into our original lending and borrowing platform. And this increases the liquidity that users can tap into when they want to do leverage lending or other DeFi activities on top of Flux, right? Because the markets are bigger there. And just some more information to Flux and the 01 team. We call ourselves a team with innovative spirit and pioneering experience, focusing on the blockchain development. And most of our core members come from well-known universities and internet companies across China, but not limited to China. And products besides Flux that we have done are Hotpot, Whoops, Vigos, and Oops. And Hotpot is the product that enables the cross-chaining of the assets between the different Flux protocols on the different networks. And the reason why we created Hotpot is not that because there isn't enough options out there in the market, but it was because the options out there are standalone products that did not perfectly suit the needs of our users who want to be able to cross-chain their collaterals from chain A to chain B. So yeah, we built Hotpot protocol to be able to cross-chain our assets, leveraging Poly Network. Poly Network is another cross-chain product out there. And yeah, here are some contact information from our webpage, but I'll just leave it there. And now I want to get into Flux. So as you can see, this is how the old Flux looked like.
Sorry, Chris. I think we can't see the screen with your Flux demo. But also, I have to note that we are actually running a bit over time. So
okay,
yeah. Can you
where can I here stop sharing, and then I'll share the screen again and get this. Can you see it now?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. So this is the old version of Flux. It's very simple. You have your functions here. You can see the different money markets, and here you can change to the different networks. And the new version, the homepage looks like this. It also has a buffer when you get into it, so the experience is better. Then you click on the app, and up here you can select the chain you want to use Flux on, and then once here we have selected BSC, you can see all the different assets on there. Here, this would be the dashboard. If you have connected, you can see your money markets, what you have supplied, what you have borrowed. Here you can do some staking on top of it. And this is actually the refinance mechanism. So once it's connected, you can just simply cross-chain your assets. Here's a history button, here's an oracle, and this is Flux v2, which we have been developing. So this is how Flux v2 looked at like. You were able to deploy, to increase your collateral in there, and then choose a leverage for the specific pair you want to farm, and then go for it. And in the new version, one second, how I have to move this here. Here I would need to connect my wallet, and then you can look at it. So it's all integrated into the one Flux platform, instead of having the need to go from Flux from Flux v1 to Flux v2. And yeah, it's currently still being fine-tuned, and then we'll send it out for a final audit by Certic before we launch it. Yeah, so if the time is insufficient, I think that would be it from my end.